Legend of the Northern Blade is the best fantasy and martial arts manga or webtoon you're going to find. Now you're probably thinking, what's so special about this? And that's a great question. There's one thing that makes it stand out from all of the other amazing comics that I've read, and his name is Jin Mu-Won. He is him, he is that guy, he is a real, true hero. What sets him apart is his vulnerability and humanity. Everyone else usually have a mentor, they're a reincarnator, and they know basically the whole story. They know exactly what to do to get strong and get into that position. Or they just have like a cheat system, like a quest tutorial, tell them everything. He has nothing. He is a young man alone with the weight of the world on his shoulders, trying to be somebody that serves others in a righteous way and use his martial arts for the good of others. And it means so much more, and the fights are so much more intense, specifically because he doesn't have a cheat button, he doesn't have the answers to everything, he doesn't have a mentor who's going to swoop in whenever he needs it. He's a leader from the start, but he's not like a strategical mastermind who has a get out of jail free card. He has to make all sorts of decisions from the get-go, and it's never about strategy. It's him being a human and trying to do the right thing, but also worrying about the dangers of everything. I'm going to go more into that later, but let's go over the plot of Legend of Northern Blade so you can just understand the environment he's in and how impressive it is. There's mainland China, and there's a group called the Silent Knight, who are an evil sect terrorizing them. To protect society, a group was formed called the Northern Heavenly Sect, who formed a barrier, a frontier against the Silent Knight. And this sect has protected the mainland from the Silent Knight for generations on generations. The current leader is Jin Mu-Won's father, and the Silent Knight have gone quiet, no pun intended. Now, because he's so influential and heroic, the mainland government are very scared of him. So they conspire with his four most trusted companions to frame him for treason. This destroys the whole sect, tarnishes his name as a traitor, gives him the death penalty, but he accepts all of it on the condition that his son, Mu-Won, is saved, which is both heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. So now Jin Mu-Won is living alone in the ruins of the Northern Heavenly Sect as an orphan, and the only company he has are the guards of the Central Heavenly Alliance, watching him, making sure he isn't learning martial arts, because they're afraid he'll, become like his father. And also Uncle Huang. I love Uncle Huang. He's not a fighter, but he goes and brings Mu-Won food and supplies and looks after him. Mu-Won's life as an orphan is filled with torture, pain, oppression. It kind of reminds me of the conditions Palestinian kids have to live in. Looking at their old homes just destroyed, with a lot of them being orphans. More than half the population is under 18 because the adults are murdered often by IDF soldiers, and also being under the watchful guise of them lot, where they get put in prison as kids, they get strip searched and all sorts of different things. Find out which companies are supporting genocide so you can boycott them, link in the description. Let's get back to the story. He manages to learn martial arts secretly, and it is amazing how he learns martial arts. When you see it, it's so beautiful. The art style of this webtoon is amazing. It kind of reminds me of Samurai Jack, but this has a lot more detail in it and a lot more weight to the movement. So Mu-Won learns martial arts, but that doesn't really mean that much because he is one person and the whole world wants him dead. There's a Silent Knight who hate the Northern Heavenly Sect, so they're going to want him gone. There's the Central Heavenly Alliance, the main government, who definitely want him dead. And there's a lot of people that have the power to kill him and end this. And lastly, there's the four closest companions of his father that stabbed him in the back and have completely dirtied his name. And remember, he has no guide. He's trying to survive in this world while being a nice person. The only comparisons I already have are like Backy and Barbarian's quest, but they also are very selfish in their quest. Backy just wants to get stronger, and in Barbarian's quest, Urich is a very free-spirited guy who's just about adventure and exploring, whereas Mu-Won has a goal, and also everybody else actively is trying to find him and kill him. Usually the main character doesn't have this kind of drive and this kind of sense unless they've lived a previous life, and we all know the reincarnator stories like Return of the Mount Hua sect, Heavenly Demon, Tales of Demon Center, Redurnus Magic, Swordsman's Youngest Child, Trash of the Count's Family. They have a goal, they have what they want to do in their mind, and it's really cool seeing what happens in the world and the fights. But there's not that much actual pressure or stress or unpredictability. These guys already know what to do. They have lived this situation already and they know exactly what's going to happen when. They know what to do, how to interact with stuff. Tales of Demons is one of the most popular, and there's really no stakes. He already knows what to do. Every opportunity to get stronger, he gets a lot stronger, and it's just an endless staircase of power levels and everything. But the world is cool. In his situation, it's him versus the world. He doesn't really know what to do specifically, but every step he takes, he meets somebody else being oppressed in some way, and he has this righteous rage where he feels the need to help people as a martial artist, as someone with power, and that motivates him to get even more power. At one point, he's training because he's too weak, but Uncle Huang, who I mentioned earlier, gets captured, and he comes out of training just to save him. For someone whose identity, if known, the whole world will come crashing down on him. All of his actions have really big consequences, and he knows it. He has a lot of internal battles because he wants to be a good person, but he also has this deep thirst for vengeance and anger towards people who are abusing others. And that's what makes him a hero. That's what makes him different. He doesn't have a guide like the Breaker, Gosu, Eliseed, HSDK, Pillarstad, Saihate no Paladin, or the Deadbeat Noble. He comes out from the start and he isn't the strongest in the world. He doesn't have somebody to rely on or to be told what to do, because there's others that don't have teachers, but they have cheat abilities and game systems like in Translation Academy, Morim Login, I leveled up by becoming an influencer, or Control Player. Control Player, literally the guy's OP. He gets the quest to tell him exactly what to do, and he has his little sister giving him game guide. And in every single quest, the end reward item directly helps him for the next quest. There are no stakes in that. You literally just watch it to just see the expansion of the world and what's going on. In most of these stories, there are literally no stakes, no pressure, no uncertainty, nothing worrying you until the very end, because everybody has a get out of jail free card. He does gain companions, and that's one of the things that is so cool about him. It's similar to Ji-Woo in Eliseed, where because of his personality and how he's different and making changes internally in people, they want to follow him. They want to support him in his goals. And that's why I love this story so much. When reading these martial arts stories, I want to be inspired. I want it to make me feel like I need to work harder and to be excited, because I can use what I've worked for to impact people, to help people, to protect people. And that's what I think is so important about storytelling. It does change lives as well as the entertainment. It should give us motivation, inspiration, and give us a change of perspective. He's very human. There's like a slight hint of romance. It's not shoved in there. There's no fan service. And it literally just starts from a normal interactions. And he's not very sociable. He's really empathetic. He takes on the pain of everybody he encounters. And that's actually how he gets his sword. His sword is so cool. And it all builds up to this. The fights, they are crazy. Not only is there uncertainty, you don't know what's going to happen. The person is usually really strong and you're worried for him. The fight starts after a confrontation. It's not just about the fight and the action and punching and kicking. He starts by confronting the person. I love how he talks down to them, because, for example, the companions of his father that betrayed him, you gave up all of that. You betrayed him when he did this much for you, and you had respectable position in society, and you threw all of that away for this. This is pathetic. He gets them really riled up and really puts them in their place. And then the doom music starts. The fights are crazy. The art style is drawn in such a way where you can feel the motion and the impact of attacks. There's nothing in this webtoon that misses. In our life, it's so easy to get distracted and get into a routine of things. And this sort of story is one that pushes you forward in life. It's not just a distraction, it's not just dopamine, it's inspirational, it's motivational, pushes me to become a better person, it pushes me to try harder, to work harder, and I know I'm a huge nerd for that, but I really don't care. I think you'll love it, and make sure you let me know what you think in the comments, recommend stories to me, and make sure you subscribe for future recommendations.